All right. Happy Friday. How goes it, everybody? Hope everybody's having a fantastic week. We're going to get right into it here in just a few moments. We're starting early today, as we should, because it's one of the best weekends around, right? Today is the Marine Corps birthday. Semper Fi to all you devil dogs out there. And it is Veterans Day tomorrow as well. So give me just a hot second here. Like I said, we're starting a little early today. And if you see this and you're on, let me know you're out there in the old interweb lands. Say hello. Jump on. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Unless you ask me. Wait, sorry. PG show. Oh yeah, right. Let me hear. Let's share this and let's get this party started today. And that's exactly what you're going to be hearing for the next probably 24 hours from our Marine Corps brothers and sisters is just that is how it's their birthday and et cetera, et cetera. We'll get into that. Well, there is a name and face I haven't seen in a long time. How are you, Miss Owen? Miss you, dear. Hope all is well with you and the family. Appreciate you jumping on. And of course, I would make a comment just like that, and you would happen to be watching at the time. Oh, good stuff. Anyway. Yeah, today's very special day. Very, very special day today. It is the United States Marine Corps birthday. And look at that. I'm still early. So I'm just gonna take another minute here and get some more people on. If you see this, if you're watching right now, do me a favor, share this. And let's get some more people on here. This particular platform likes to silence us freedom lovers. Christina, what's up, sis? Good morning. How are you? Appreciate you jumping on. So let's let's it's gonna be one of those days. I wore my red today, Red Friday. Yeah, I haven't got into the whole like Red Friday thing. But I wore it today. Uh, it being Veterans Day weekend and because it's the Marine Corps birthday. So for all you crayon eating leathernecks, jarheads out there, the red is for you. I even left the I had to get there we go. That right there, the red. You see the lights on behind. Red lights. I left them on for you jarheads out there as well. So hey, listen, Friday. Glad you guys are here. Ken, what's up, brother? Appreciate you jumping on as always. Probably not as early now, I would assume. I think because I had to change times last weekend. I think it's better timing there for those of you out west. So let's dive into this the show today. Let's get started. Again, a salute to all of you crayon eating, leatherneck, jarheads that we call brothers and sisters of the United States Marine Corps. Happy birthday to all of you. A little something about the Marine Corps for those of you that don't know. The official birthday of the United States Marine Corps is on 10 November. It started in 1775. That was the day when the Second Continental Congress established the Continental Marines with the following decree. The 2 battalions of Marines be raised consisting of 1 colonel, 2 lieutenant colonels, 2 majors, and other officers, as usual in other regiments, that they consist of equal number of privates as with other battalions. That particular care be taken that no persons be appointed to officers or enlisted into said battalions, but such as are good seamen or so acquainted with maritime affairs as to be able to serve for and during present war with Great Britain and the colonies, unless dismissed by Congress, that they are be distinguished by the names of the first and second battalions of Marines. So again, simplify, Devil Dogs, happy birthday. I know the rest of us are going to hear about it all day today tomorrow. so a couple honorable mentions real quick to some friends who some of my very very close friends that I have were Marines, and I'm going to miss a few, but I just want to name a few. Um, Tony Aberscato, a good friend of mine down in Florida. Stephen Cochran, who's got a new album coming out tomorrow, I believe. So make sure if you're not following him, country music artist, Stephen Cochran. Travis McVeigh, longtime friend as well. Gabriel Wren, another very close friend. I was on set with him last week here in Pennsylvania. Doug Harris, Thomas Howard, just to name a few, and there's a slew of others that I can't think of off the top of my head, but God bless all you guys. God bless the Marine Corps, and happy birthday, Devil Dogs. What do we have here? JD. Oh, JD is asking. Here, I'll put this up here. Here's a trivia question to start us off in the morning, because that's all what we need is a trivia question first thing in the morning. The greatest baseball player of all time was a USMC fighter pilot who served in both World War II and the Korean War. Who was he? That is a great question. Great question. Stephen Williams. That's not the answer to that, but I want to just thought of another name. Stephen Williams, one of our producers here at HMG. Happy birthday, brother. Let me put this up here one more time because it's got me thinking. JD, you're throwing me off. Damn it. I wasn't ready for this. It's too early. I haven't even had a full cup of coffee yet, man. What's the matter with you? So happy birthday, Marines. Tomorrow, the rest of us get to celebrate Veterans Day. So to all of you who have served, thank you. It's crazy to think. I think about Veterans Day. I think about a lot of the people who I miss dearly. People that I served with overseas way back in 2003, and just kind of fell off. Didn't keep in touch with a whole lot of them, and I wish I would have. I wish there's people out there who I wish I would have talked to more when I was in the service with those people. Some of the finest people. Ken, who's on here right now, great individual. We hung out just maybe a few times when we were together in the company that we served with. Knew each other well, but one of the greatest people that I know. The 22/20th from 2003. Great people. Miss them dearly every day. So I love it. Veterans Day gives you time to think, kind of reminisce. My grandfather, Korean War veteran. My uncle, West Point grad. And I know he watches this, so I'll say I don't hold that against him. No, but in all seriousness. And then, Little Bird, he's Army ROTC, and he's on the path here soon, and will be in the ranks of those, and so many other people. So for all of my brothers and sisters in arms, I love you, and God bless you. JD, another one of those vets that I've had the privilege of working with for so many years. Here. Oh, Ted Williams. So the answer, I'm gonna go back to this real quick because JD's messing me up this morning. We're gonna blame JD. Ted Williams. Ted Williams was a fighter pilot in World War II and the Korean War, and I do agree. By far, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Thanks, JD. I appreciate that's a good one. Next time, let's wait until we have a cup of coffee. All right, what else do we got? Sticking with the military theme, I got to give a shout out to West Point Army football. Game time tomorrow. Kickoff is at 12. They host Holy Cross. Let's before we dive into that, let's talk about their win last week in Denver against 25th ranked Air Force. And they had a huge upset. They upset Air Force at home 23-3. Outstanding win for the Black Knights. And they are, like I said, they are home tomorrow hosting Holy Cross. Kickoff time is at 12 p.m. for all of you college football fanatics out there. That's the one team, West Point. It's the one team I like to follow because everybody, and you see like the Army Navy game, which is coming up in December this year. It's for the first time ever. It's being hosted in Boston, which is Foxborough Stadium. JD, did I say that right? You would know. You're a big Patriots fan. I believe I said that right. Or is it Gillette Stadium or Foxborough Stadium? Please correct me on that. First time there, and there's a lot of things going on in Boston that weekend. Gillette Stadium. Thank you, JD. I apologize. Thank you. The Boston 250th anniversary, like the Boston Tea Party, and then there was something else I forget because I didn't bother putting it in my notes. But a lot of things going on that weekend in the Americans game. The Americas game is what they call it, where everybody on the field is a hero. Everybody ends up serving and whatnot. And so that's why I really like watching the academies and being an Army vet myself. It's easy for us to, that camaraderie and kind of, poke fun at the other branches of service. It's all good and fun because when it comes time to go to work, we'd be the first one to defend each other too. So I think that's pretty cool. So let's dive into some interesting headlines that I found this week. So first up, if I may, hold on a second. I lied. There's one more thing. I'll bring this up here real quick. Tomorrow in Webster, Texas, at the Saloon Door Brewing Company, Sergeant Records is going to be down there. Our buddy Scotty Frazier is going to be playing there from looks like 2 to 6 p.m. tomorrow. So if you're down in Webster, Texas tomorrow, go support Sergeant Records and Scotty Frazier Band. Good music and a good time. Looks like they got a lot going on down there. So make sure you check that out. I wanted to make sure that we gave them a shout out this morning. All right. Back to the headlines because some interesting ones. This one new report shares federal government's censorship of American speech. Now, I know what you're thinking. Shocked, as you should be, because I was shocked just reading this to you right now. So the House Judiciary Committee and the Select Subcommittee of the Weaponization of Federal Government released an interim report titled, and I quote, "The Weaponization of Disinformation, Pseudo Experts, and Bureaucrats," end quote. Wow. Okay. How the federal government partnered with universities to censor Americans' free speech. What? No, this government wouldn't do that. The government would not censor us. Would they? The report details how the federal government partnered with Stanford University and other groups to create the Election Integrity Partnership, or the EIP, to censor speech leading up to the 2020 presidential election. Now, again, I shocked. Can you see it in my face? I can't believe they would do that. I cannot believe that the government would censor us fine people here in the United States. It's appalling to even think that. Look it up. Look it up. Next up, what do we got? This one here came from a UN commissioner, and that should tell you everything you need to know in and of itself. But the UN, what a Israel's actions in Gaza cannot qualify as self-defense. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. JD, I know, right? Right? Israel's actions in Gaza cannot qualify as self-defense, says UN commissioner. A United Nations official said that Israel does not have the right to defend itself against Hamas. Francesca Albanese, who serves, and I'm sure I said her name wrong, but whatever, who serves as the office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights Special Rapporteur for the Palestinians, tweeted, under international law, Israel's actions in Gaza cannot qualify as self-defense. She goes on, let me tell you. She argued that under international law, self-defense is a term, or under, let me see. She argued under international law, self-defense is a quote, term of art with a narrower meaning than in common language, end quote. She said that self-defense is, one, a legitimate use of force, two, by a state to protect itself against an attack, and three, from another state. She goes on in the article, and you can look this up. A couple different organizations had similar topics on this. I looked at this one from AmericanFaith.com. She said that Israel isn't a state, so it can't defend itself against Hamas that way. So yeah, I'd like to take a moment just to say the UN is the United Nations is another one of those organizations that is completely worthless. And for those of you that are watching this in your other agencies, you can quote me on that. Thank you. Yes, Ken, she is a special kind of stupid wasn't the word I was looking for, but yeah, that'll work. Next up, kind of good news, I guess, maybe. Private university bans pro-Palestinian student group supporting Hamas. Interesting. Brandeis University, it's a private college in Massachusetts, of all places, has decided to ban its chapter of the National Students for Justice in Palestine, also known as the SJP, from campus after the group openly supported the Palestinian terror group Hamas. SJP has called on its chapters to engage in conduct that supports Hamas in its call for elimination of the only Jewish state in the world and its people, said one of the university's spokespeople. So I look at this as a good on the university for stepping in. It's a private university. I think that's a key point that needs to be made when sharing this story, that it's a private university. It's a private university. And a private university is doing the right thing because it's a private university. Yes, we give all our tax money. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. So again, private university, hats off to you. Congrats. Did you guys see on social media that was going around? This was Ken. This is going to affect you. Down in Tucson, Arizona. There was a reporter from Real America's Voice went down there. Ben, I think it's Ben Bergquam. If you look him up, Real America's Voice, he's one of the reporters there. He goes down to Tucson, Arizona, and is down at the airport, which is on the south end of Tucson, just south of DM. If you're familiar with Tucson, Arizona, I did some of my growing up there. I graduated high school down there. Went to my first year of college there. Yeah, so South Tucson, down by the airport, they were busing big charter buses of illegal immigrants coming in. And he was asking, "Where are you guys going? Where are you guys going?" And so as these people are getting off the buses and walking into the building, "Hey, where are you going? Where are you going?" "I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to New York. I'm going to California. I'm going to Dallas, Texas. I'm going." And there was just a bunch of different places. I mean, they're spread out. There were just there. These people are crossing the border. Border Patrol is in the most recent talks that I've had with some of my contacts. They're busting them up to these processing centers, and they're letting them go. Not back to Mexico or not back to the South. They're letting them into the United States under this administration. I'm pointing to you. Your tax dollars are paying for that. Remember that. So, yeah, your tax dollars are paying for that. And here's something else. I saw this literally yesterday down in Tucson. There was or no, Phoenix. I'm sorry. This happened in Phoenix yesterday. Gentleman was driving, um, no driver's license, no license plate. Vehicle was all trashed up. No driver's license, no license plate, nothing. It was just we got to open our eyes here, people, on what's going on. You have to take a look at what's going on around us and start making. If you're not happy with what having an open border like we currently have, or what's going on right now, then we got to start figuring out what we need to do to change that. Doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you sit on, because the mainstream media is going to feed a bunch of BS to us. So it's time to think for ourselves. Yeah, Ken, yeah, that's sad to say. I'm hearing the west side of Phoenix is something else now too. I got a friend down there, not far from where my old house was, and he was like, "Man, it's crazy down here." And it's Phoenix just keeps going. It's spreading. They don't build up; they build out. They're building out. So you know, um, I thought this was worthy enough to put up here. I'm not going to repeat it, but we'll leave it up there for a second. And with that, I'm going to get an email. So thank you, JD, for that. We're already shadow banned, so make sure you guys are sharing this so everybody else can join in on some of the fun. All right, what else we got? I got one more here for headlines. This one here literally blew my mind. No pun intended. Elon Musk's brain implant startup Neuralink is ready to start surgery on humans. What? You guys have heard about this, right? The chip. So Neuralink has created a significant buzz with its plan to kind of merge the human brain with AI, artificial intelligence, through their brain chip that they've created, and now it's ready for clinical trials. and it's looking for volunteers. Now, volunteers, they said the ideal volunteer is under the age of 40. Um, and what this is supposed to do is potentially revolutionize the way we interact with technology and treat neurological conditions. Now, it's interesting when you read the and look this up. It's look up Neuralink or Neuralink surgery. I think if you Google that, that'll be on it as well. But they've been talking about this for years. Well, now just recently they're ready to pull the trigger on this. And if you look at this, isn't coming from a mainstream media source. Those stories are old and they haven't updated them. This is coming from like a somebody like HMG, a smaller, new kid on the block, if you will. And what this is the surgical process involves removing part of the skull to implant electrodes that can read and analyze brain activity, transmitting this data uh, wirelessly, wirelessly to a computer. The ideal candidate are adults under 40 with quadriplegic, aiming to utilize the technology to restore lost abilities. Now, man, I got mixed emotions on this. I think if you have somebody that is quadriplegic or paralyzed in some aspect of it, and you can put a this brain chip is supposed to help them be able to walk again or move their certain parts of their body again. It's kind of cool when you think about it, but at the same time, it's like, are we at a point where we're playing God? And what do you guys think? I'm interested to hear what you guys have to think on that. Leave a comment on that. What do you guys think of these brain chips and moving forward? Is this something that's worthy of exploring? Um, Neuralink's vision is to enable thought to computer communication, allowing for unpredicted levels of interaction between the human mind and machines. This is like some Terminator type stuff, right? Um, this could lead to the ability of downloading knowledge directly into the brain or uploading thoughts for storage or even communication with other brains, essentially blurring the lines between human cognition and digital data. I don't, I really got mixed emotions about this. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. I don't know. I've just found it to be very interesting. Another thing that's interesting, I don't have it in my notes here, but as I'm thinking about it, um, the UK did something recently with digital currency, and that's something we all need to be paying attention to. The dollar. I don't have any cash on me right now. I never had cash on me. Um, it is just plummeting, and the UK has done a central banking system for digital currency now. Probably not going to hear or read much about it. You have to Google it, deep dive into it a little bit. There wasn't much that I could find on it, but I've had several people tell me, "Hey, try to look for this stuff. This is what's happening." You can't. It just stinks. It stinks. And if you guys are watching, my camera froze on me finally. The weather here isn't all that great, so stay tuned here. Just give me just a second. We'll get the camera back up and going. Um, there we go. Can that'd be nice. That would be nice. Implant them into I'll just say people. Yeah. Um, digital currency. Watch your money. Where are you getting your money? Where are you putting your money? Pay attention to that stuff because there's a lot of that is going down right now. JD, yeah, I got a loose wire I got to fix. I thought I fixed it the other day, but it happens. That's why I love going live, baby. All right, hey, listen, let's get into some of the shows here. Let's get into some of the shows. Great shows, some great episodes this week. Let's dive into this. Who do we got up here first? We got Be Relentless. This week, John introduces the blueprint of the Forge, what he calls the Forge, a small group of 5 to 9 like-minded individuals who are pursuing the best versions of themselves by embracing radical responsibility and extreme intentionality, and how to create your very own forge within or beyond the Waymaker community. Check it out. That's this week's Be Relentless. Hey, real quick, let me remind you guys, all of you, you can check out all the shows right now at heroesmediagroup.com. We are launching a new website here at the beginning of the year. Hopefully, the beginning of the year. I spoke with our web developing team yesterday, and they are going through redesigning the new website. Our service page has been our Achilles heel, but we have new offers and new services that we're providing. So real quick, let me just, if I can, talk about those. Audio, video editing for podcast shows, audio editing for audiobooks as well. We can build sales funnels. We have a CRM system, SMS and email marketing campaign stuff. We do all of that stuff now, as well as hosting. And we got people that can help you start a podcast. So if you're interested in starting a podcast, reach out to us, email us, info@heroesmediagroup.com. Okay. And the nice thing about joining a network, if you have a podcast now and you want to join us, it's great because we have a slew of great shows on the network right now that you can network with that are doing fantastic stuff. So anyway, I want to put that out there. Heroesmediagroup.com. All right. Next up, who do we have? We got, well, we just did them. Hero Academy has got some new stuff coming out. Super Dave has been on the road. So stay tuned for that. Go check him out. Follow him at the Hero Academy on social media. Next up, we got Beyond the Rut with our man Jerry, also an Army veteran. This week, Mike Simmons joins him on the show. The catalyst seeker disrupts the status quo, shatters limitations, and guides you to achieve your goals through innovative thinking and simplified game plan. This week's episode, you're going to be able to discover the strategies to tap into your hidden talents for personal and professional growth. You're also going to be able to learn techniques to set meaningful goals and to stay motivated to achieve them. So check that out. That's this week's Beyond the Rut. Next up, we got Label Free Podcast. This week, Farah, who is a banking and financial professional turned author. Farah is an inspirational, shares her inspiration behind her book, Me, Her, and Me, which was born out of a tragedy involving her mother. Farah's mother is larger than life character, lived an unconventional life in a small town in northern India. Despite the social norms, she chose to separate from Farah's father and live life on her own terms. Throughout the interview, Farah emphasizes the importance of embracing individuality and living life on one's own terms. She encourages the listeners this week to find their own tools in coping with challenges and to surround themselves with a supportive community. I couldn't agree more with that last part. That's this week's Label Free Podcast. Check it out. What do we got next? Other Side of the Firewall. If you're not in IT or you want to learn IT, this is the show to follow. They do a show every week. They do a show every day, Monday through Friday. A whole bunch of different stuff here. Let's see here. New York finalizes a Second Amendment to its cyber regulations. Tuesday, Canada bans Chinese and Russian apps on government devices. I'm kind of surprised by that from Canada. Eh? Uh, sorry. Wednesday was the SEC sues SolarWinds Cisco for non-disclosure. Solar companies is another thing. On wind or onshore and offshore wind farms are a huge, huge thing right now. And whether you live near one, you should be paying attention to them because it affects you. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Those of you in Arizona, there are those wind farms down Yuma area between Yuma and San Diego. It affects it affects the Phoenix area. I promise you that. So check it out. That's this week's Other Side of the Firewall. Great episodes. Next up, Carry On Politics. This week, candidate Grant Busher, a congressional candidate from Indiana's 3rd District. Grant shared his journey from early life becoming a successful engineer in a construction company where he led more than $26 million projects. Grant passion for community and dedication to representing the interests of others truly shine through, symbolizing commitment to building a better future for Indiana, but also for the across the entire country as well. Good episode there. Carry On Politics. Next up, what do we got? The boys. The boys are back in town. Pushing back chaos. Fitting topic for this week's episode. Each year, the Western world stops on November 11th at 11 a.m. for a period of silent reflection. Why do we pause? What is in memory of? On this day, November 11th, at the time the guns fell silent in 1918, signaling the end of World War I. The next year, the first service was held in memory of the fallen who had sacrificed so much. It initially was called Armistice Day. Over the years, it became a day of remembrance and sacrifices, not just from World War I, but from other wars and those that have served in those wars. Since the start of World War I, over 31 million service personnel have given their lives. This week, join your hosts as they reflect on what this day means for them and some of what these sacrifices have been in aid of. They want everybody to remember at this time to reach out into your network because you never know how much it can mean to have a friend or a loved one to communicate with during what could be a difficult period. So, for all of my brothers and sisters out there whom I have had the honor of serving with, those of you who are friends that are veterans and whatnot, you can always reach out. We are here for you. I am here for you. So send us a message, DM us, whatever platform you're watching this on. Hit us up, and I'd love to reconnect with you. So that's this week's Pushing Back Chaos. Check it out. Next up, the Decision Hour with yours truly. This week, from sickness to superhuman, Udo Uramis, his path of determination and health and transformation. This guy was so cool to talk to. Older gentleman who is just full of life, hilarious. I mean, he was hilarious. Udo is a co-founder of Udo's Choice line. You can find it in all your health food stores. He's an expert in biochemistry, genetics, biology, and nutrition. Throughout this episode, he shares his incredible journey filled with ups and downs, determination, and life-altering decisions. And man, it was crazy listening to some of these. His family, he talks about his family's experience during World War II and how they moved to Canada, and how Udo's always had a desire, a deep desire for harmony amongst people, and how he wanted to help people. Throughout the conversation, he starts talking about Udo's choice, which is this. It's like an oil. It's like he literally tells you, like, throw away your frying pans and do not use oil in frying pans. And he breaks down why you do not use oil, why you fry oil, and you're going to be surprised. I was shocked. But Udo's choice, a line of oils made with health in mind. We learned about the benefits of omega-3 fatty acids and the careful processes Udo implemented to ensure the utmost quality. But Udo's journey doesn't stop there. He shares a gripping story about a risky decision he made while rock climbing, highlighting the superhuman possibilities that exist within each of us each and every day. Pretty cool episode. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to him. That's this week's Decision Hour. Let me see here real quick. Let me get back here. JD. All right. Let's who's up next? Time to shine today. This week, our man Scott Ferguson sharing his journey with Will Johnston and the Superior Mind app. As a former D1 player and Navy SEAL, his expertise transformed lives. Here are some of the things that you're going to learn in this episode this week. Self-awareness is the foundation of excellence. Action speaks louder than words. Be an inspiration through your actions. Work smarter, not harder. How many of you have heard that before? Combine hard work with smart strategies to avoid burnout. Stay present in the moment and give yourself grace when facing obstacles. I think a lot of us have a hard time doing that. I most certainly do. One of the other episodes this week was with John Mayo, who also happens to be the host of Be Relentless. So check that out. That's this week's episodes of Time to Shine Today. What do we got next? Shay Sparks Show. She got a new episode coming out next week. But we're in a new season, season 10. First episode came out last week, so go check it out. The new Shay Sparks Show. Excuse me. Next up, we got Because Bikers Matter podcast. This week, David, aka Vegas Schumann, discusses or talk founder and president of Curing Kids Cancer of the incredible success of a recent event at Motobalt, which is a rally that they do in Chicago, and it's like several days long. Anyway, what they did was, through collaboration with Motorcycle Knucklebusters and Krish Helmets, they decided to auction off a specially designed helmet to raise funds for curing kids cancer. The goal was to raise $25,000, which would cover the cost of T-cell therapy for a child. The auction exceeded expectations, with the helmet being sold 3 times for a total of $18,000. However, the generosity did not stop there, as a friend of the foundation stepped forward and purchased a sweatshirt for $7,000, bringing the total raised to $25,000. Outstanding. This was an awesome show to listen to. It's just inspiration. I like hearing stories like this. People doing good things. I love it. So let's check that out. That's the Because Bikers Matter podcast. What do we have next? Next up, our man Rich with the Misfit Nation. This week, he does a couple of shows during the week. So make sure you're following the Misfit Nation on social media. Most recent one, U.S. Army veteran J.R. McIntyre, I think I said that right, with impressive background in project management and business analyst and a multitude of certifications. He's also a master at driving organizational efficiency and achieving strategic imperatives. Beyond his professional expertise, he's a certified master motivational speaker and life coach with a passion of empowering personnel and professional development. So go check that out. That's this week's Misfit Nation. Side note, real quick, JR is also a Bronze Star recipient and a lifelong learner. So pretty cool episode. Check it out. Misfit Nation. What do we got next? What do we got next? What do we got? Environmentally speaking, the hidden costs of onshore wind farms and the role the government government bailouts for these wind farms. You guys realize that these wind farms, I know some of you are thinking, like, what does that have to do with me? I don't understand it, blah, 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 blah. I said the same thing. So I started researching this stuff. Now it just kind of pisses me off. It makes me mad to see these giant organizations and companies. And we saw it with the automobile industry several years ago, getting government bailouts and stuff like that. These companies have billions of dollars in reserves in the banks and stuff like that. Same thing with these wind farms. This week, they're talking about issues surrounding renewable energy and its challenges. Marissa and Clarice continue their discussion on unforeseen consequences faced by wind farm project, both offshore and onshore. They examined the recent article that they looked at, highlighting the struggles of Siemens Energy, which is a foreign company out of Germany that's going through a whole bunch of problems right now. With their offshore wind and the parallels it shares with previous cases. With mounting losses and the need for government assistance, the hosts explore the implications of supply chain disruptions, financial considerations, and the concerns for the environment. Just because they say it's environmentally friendly does not mean it's environmentally friendly. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Look this stuff up, guys. I'm telling you. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the show, environmentally speaking. It got me deep diving into this stuff. We've written a couple articles on Heroes Media Group about this as well. Go check it out. It's fascinating, quite frankly. Next up, MSEC podcast with our friends over at Military Child Education Coalition. This week, Dr. Gabby discusses food insecurity and how it is affecting the military and veteran community. Very interesting topic this week. She also shares some information and resources that are available to address this need. Go to militarychild.org, and they have a slew of resources for veterans and military families. Great organization. Check it out. That's the MSEC podcast. Guys, I'll get to the comments here in just a second. Let me get through the shows here quick. Just a few more left. This week, the Arms Room. They have a new show that comes out every Monday, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This week, they're discussing how to help prepare those in your life who do not want to prepare themselves. What are we preparing for? What do you think? Supply chains are, for food, the food supply chains here in America are being disrupted. We have companies building 3D fake meat, stuff that we're putting in our bodies. Again, try to keep it positive. Prepare yourselves. How do you do that? Listen to the Arms Room show. They're going to tell you. What do we got next? Chasing happiness. This week, Ryan talks about the debt's tightrope, strategies for financial balance in uncertain times. There's a lot of things that are going on in the financial businesses right now. One is a recent class action lawsuit rocking the real estate world and its implications for professionals and homeowners alike, as the National Association of Realtors grapples with a multi-billion-dollar verdict and he unpacks what that means and how you can save and how you can change things up with your real estate stuff, especially if you have a portfolio. Ryan is a realtor down in Arizona. Actually, I lie. He's a realtor in Arizona, but he's also a realtor in other states as well. But go check it out, Chasing Happiness. Our man Ryan. Next up, the Joel Evans Show. This one here, Dr. Jeffrey Gross. He's the founder of Re-Celebrate, which is and he's also a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine. Medicine and healthcare are seamlessly advancing at the speed of light these days. Some treatments are proving to be a real game changer, and I certainly agree with that. Others create more confusion. Also agree with that. So, in this week's podcast, you're going to learn the science behind harnessing one's own stem cells for prolonged health, unlocking youthful genes, the suppressing power of hormones. You're also going to learn the secret power of umbilical cord stem cells, a miracle cure for leukemia. They're also going to talk about revolutionary treatments for eye conditions and sexual dysfunction. I know some of you are already pulling up this show. It's the Joel Evans Show. And they're also going to talk about maximizing stem cell treatment, key steps to amplify results. I know a few people that have done stem cells, but you have to go out of country to do it, right? And it's not cheap. It's an expensive procedure. Maybe we'll start seeing that more of it here, or start coming here in the United States. Probably not because of big pharma, but it's stuff to look into. Start looking into alternative medicines, whether it's plant-based, stem cells, stuff like that. There's other stuff outside the U.S. Believe me. What else we got? Rise Up Voices from the Front Line. They got some new shows coming up soon. Stay tuned for that. Next up, we got your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project. A couple nights ago, they had Jonathan Lopez from Operation Enduring Warrior, who is a nonprofit 501c3 veteran founded, whose mission is to honor, empower, and motivate the nation's wounded military and law enforcement veterans through physical, mental, and emotional rehabilitation. Now, the People's Patriot Project, they do a show a couple nights a week. They got some different stuff that they do, but the We Got Your 6 at 6, that happens every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on their Facebook Live. Check it out. What else do we got? The S3 with JD. Couple nights ago, they did JD and Lady M. They break down the state of the Patriots as New England travels to Germany this week to take on the Colts, which I believe was last night. Was it the Thursday night game? They break down Week 10 NFL schedule and give their locks this week in their season-long competition, which I think Lady M is winning. I don't know. I think she's winning that though. So for those of you that are watching and listening, perhaps we need to, just email Lady M for, picks. Perhaps I know JD's fuming right now. They also talk about JD gives his DraftKings picks. For last night's game, it was Thursday night matchup between the Panthers and the Bears. So I lied. The game in Germany is this weekend. Sunday morning game to me, and Lady M is behind 6. I'm sorry. See, I knew he was going to say something. She's behind 6 games. I thought she was winning earlier in the season, but that's how long it's been. So my apologies, JD. I knew that was going to ruffle his feathers. But listen, you can check out S3 with JD and Lady M. They do a few shows a week. They got a football show, and then they also do, now that basketball is in season, college basketball is right around the corner. The NBA is kicking off. They also do a basketball show. So the S3 does 2 shows during the week. Follow them on social media. Get your football updates and your basketball updates through the S3. So make sure you check that out. Got to give a shout out to our sponsors. We got one of the newer partnerships that we have, Ops Lens Worldview, another media outlet. They do a lot of live stuff, and they are banned from most social media platforms, which is great. And one of the reasons why I love them. Great organization. Check them out. Ops Lens Worldview. JB Auto Clothiers. I did not wear one of my jackets today. I wanted to make sure I was representing the red for the Marine Corps and for Veterans Day and remembering everybody deployed. So JB Auto Clothiers, great veteran owned. They do custom suits and now shirts and tuxedos. Can't forget about the tuxes. So if you want a made to measure suit, jacket, sports coat, or a custom shirt, get a hold of JB Auto Clothiers. Check them out. My tax fella. Tax season is right around the corner already. Can you believe that? If you need bookkeeping, if you have a business, I'm going to tell you something. My tax fella, I love this organization. My man Anthony, who's the founder and CEO over there, he started this stuff. He's been handling all of my businesses for the latter part of about 10 years now. So go check it out. My tax fella. Alibi Tattoo. Need some ink done? Come check out Alibi Tattoo. Or maybe you need some ink removed. They also do ink removal. Forget Genetics. It's hunting season, guys. You want the best stuff out in the woods? Go to forgetgenetics.com. Check it out. Use promo code HMG. He's going to give you 10% off. This is a veteran-owned company. Check it out. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. I say it every week when I bring this up. If you're riding motorcycles, you're going to need a lawyer. Somebody hits you, God forbid something happens. Call these guys. Put them on your speed dial. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. Feed the people, buy the people. My buddy AJ Richards founded one of the co-founders of this organization. There is rumor that his new podcast, Feed the People, Buy the People, will be joining the HMG network here soon. Stay tuned for that. Go check them out. Gotta Hold Brewing. If you're in Eureka Springs, you want some of the best beer on the planet, go to Gotta Hold Brewing. They're down in Arkansas. Jim Neary's Bait and Tackle and Warriors on the Water LTD. Great organizations. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. Home Studio, one of the services that we're going to be offering here in 2024 at HMG. Go check them out. Sisu Stamina and the Universal Learning Approach is a partner of ours. Let me see. I might have a picture of their stuff as well. I do. There you go. Boom. Check it out. This stuff keeps you razor focused. I love this stuff. Use promo code HEROES10 for 10% off at checkout. Carrabba's down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Love you guys. Appreciate your support. And then last but not least, we got our sister company, HMG Beverage. You can see behind me. So let me tell you something about this. We have a new blend coming out, or a new brew coming out. It's decaf. The name of it is going to be called Be Still. Appropriate, right? Non-caffeinated, Be Still. It's kind of our clarity. If you notice, if you've ever been to hmgcoffee.com or hmgbeverage.com, you will notice that all the coffee blends tie in with the heroes theme, community heroes theme, with the exception of Kickstart and the Brazilian Cerrado. We have PRN, Heroes United, Lesson Plan, First Due, Patrol, and then our Clarity piece will be Still, which is going to be our decaf blend. I was able to go out to the port in New Jersey earlier this week and pick up more than 600 pounds of coffee and brought that home. We got new Brazilian beans in, so our Brazilian stuff is back. We ran low on that. And then also at the beginning of the year, you guys see this little coffee mug. We're going to be giving away some of those maybe for Christmas next month. Maybe three to five of them. Haven't decided yet, but keep your eye out for those, because those will be on the website at the beginning of the year. And then we are happy to announce that our HMG gin is now full time in the state of Missouri, and we're going to be pushing that out here very soon as well. New things coming for the beverage company around February timeframe. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. The coffee's always there. We're going to be on a little bit of a hiatus, so if orders come in, we'll let you know that we're going to be. We're going to have our office hours and stuff are going to be change a little bit just during the holiday season. So I want to thank all of our sponsors because of you that allows me to keep doing this for all of you out there. Ken, I'm torn between the Brazilian and first due. Really interesting. Is the first due is more of it got a little bit of a kind of a smoke flavor to it, and it's a darker blend. The Brazilian is more of a medium blend. Lance Henderson, why does that name sound familiar? I feel like this guy has been stalking us before. Um, what, Lance? What? About time you come up and show up. Let me guess. Watch this. He's going to ask for a discount of like 75% off or something like that, right? Right, Lance? Is that what you're going to do? uh, JD, here's a great question JD is asking. LeBron James is having a museum built for him. Too much or well deserved? Way too much. Not worthy of it. No, it's no, no, 100 times no, 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 hell no, no. Ken, I like the dark roast. Good. As your probation officer, I don't need a discount. Lance, you weren't supposed to say anything. Damn it. Anyway. uh Go build it in China. So you're saying no, JD? I'm gonna go. Listen, since you're asking me live on social media, my answer to JD's question about um, LeBron James building is a no. No, that's a strong pass. No, and if you build it, good on him. Maybe he's got enough land that he builds it for himself. I don't know. I certainly would not pay admissions to go see it, and I don't think I would accept money if you paid me to go in and see it. So no, Lance, you're drugged. Sure, right. Listen, everybody. Again, to all of my uh, leathernecks, crayon eating, jarhead, barrel chested warfighter, Marines, I'm talking to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to our beloved United States Marine Corps. Um, Army's always picking up your guys' shit. So I, I tried to go the entire show without saying something like that. But yeah, listen, happy birthday to the Marine Corps. Happy Veterans Day to all of my brothers and sisters in the past, present. Um, a special thank you to all of the men and women that I had the honor to serve with. Happy Veterans Day. I love you all. I miss you dearly. And to all my friends who are vets who I've had the honor of meeting over the last several years, doing what I do here with the with HMG and prior to that. I appreciate you all. So that being said, I'm out of time, guys. I got to run for the weekend. But listen, next week is going to be different. I'm not in studio next week. We're going to be traveling. We're going. It's deer hunting season, so I'm going to be traveling next week up to the cold north. So stay tuned. We're going to try to get a show in next week. But have a safe and happy weekend. God bless you. God bless America. Think for yourselves. I love you all. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.